Hello, welcome 2023, Happy New Year everyone. In today's video we're going to take a look at how you can use a throttle that's got two parts to it to control engine on aircraft that have got 3 engines, 4 engines or more. So without further ado, let's go and crack into it. So here we are currently inside the MD-11. For those of you unfamiliar with what that is, it's a 3-engined aircraft, old school, still used a little bit for cargo these days. Lufthansa Cargo has got a bunch of videos on YouTube featuring this aircraft. So how can I control this? That Warthog, the Warthog throttle that you see there on the intro was a picture that I just took. So coming down here, you see this aircraft has got 3 throttles there. 3 engines, 3 throttles. And so in past, the only way that you could do this with 2 throttles is you'd come into your controls, your joystick, and there's an image of my throttle perfectly. And because you could, yes, X-Plane lets you assign all the way up to, well, in this case, 9 throttles. Well, you can't because you've only got 2 levers. And so you either assign 1 lever to 1 throttle, 1 lever to one of the other throttles, and then that's going to leave your 3rd engine without any ability to control it. Granted, you could use this little thing here, but I like to use that as the tiller. And so, and again, this is no good if you've got 4 engines, right? What do you do? Well, along comes to the rescue. So, of course, what that left us with was you would attach one throttle lever rather, to your entire throttle here for X-Plane, and then when done, when you move that throttle lever, it moves all of your throttles in sync, which is, of course, better than nothing, right? And for those people who've only got 1 throttle lever, they've been doing that since the Stone Age anyway. But for those of us with 2, let's assume we set these 2 outer throttles to control. That's going to leave the middle one that we're unable to control until this plugin. All right, so let's demonstrate now what I'm talking about. Let me come over into... Come on. I did have this set up, would you believe? Come on, where are we? 1 second. There we go. Google. Come into your search engine and you want this. The X-Plane plug-in throttle. It's going to take you to this one. You can also just paste, not paste, X-Plane throttle and click I feel lucky. But of course, if you're typing it in, that's going to bring you to the X-Plane org site. And if you've got X-Plane, you really should register on this site. It's where it's all happening. And you're going to see this ancient looking multi-throttle version 1.1. And it looks like, if you take a look at some of the screenshots here, that it was made sometime between 1,000, maybe 2,000 years ago. I don't want to argue which one's which because it's encroaching on some of the religious belief systems that some people may have. But either way, it was made an awful long time ago. And I thought, I know this used to work in X-Plane 11, but no way is this antiquated thing working in X-Plane 12, right? Well, the other day I decided, you know what? I'm going to hit download. Download the file, unzip it, put it into your X-Plane /plugin resources /plugins folder. For those of you, you know, it's where you put any add-on. And then when we come back into X-Plane, you're going to get this little menu here on your plugins. And where are we here? Ta-da, you're going to get this X multi-throttle. And it's enabled by default. You can disable it using this if you so wish. Personally, I've not found a reason to disable it, yet it seems to work fine. And you've got a few options here. We'll take a look at those in a minute. But first of all, let's look at setting up the basics. So you've got your plugin installed. You've got your throttles here. And again, the engines are still controlling it all. You're going to have to do this for every module that you've got. Simply come into your controls. And what you want to do is waggle your left lever. In my case, my left lever on the Warthog, for some reason, picks up as engine throttle number 2. And my right lever picks up as engine number 1. No idea why it is. It just is. But either way, I want my left lever to control the left lever on here. That makes sense. So I'm moving the left lever. Okay, it's this one. That's going to be my throttle or engine number 1. So click throttle 1. I'm now going to move my right lever. Just ignore this notification here for a sec. I'm moving my right throttle lever, and that has got to be the rightmost engine. So in this case, I'm in the MD-11. It's got 3 engines, and so you guessed it, it's going to be throttle number 3. I know we've not got anything assigned to throttle number 2. That's going to be the middle throttle. That's where the magic of this plugin comes in. So we're going to hit done. Okay. And now when I move my left throttle, there you see it. When I move the right throttle, there you see it. But what about the middle one? Okay, let's have a look. Plugins, multi-throttle. Here's your options. You can average the middle engines or minimize. What's the difference? Well, let's go to average first of all. We'll tick that. And if we come over here, I'm just going to move my right throttle up. And of course, it doesn't work in the MD-11, you moron. Okay, so there is... MD-11, it would seem, has got something... Do you know, guys, never go live on a video like this, because you try and show something that works on every aircraft and you think, oh, it's going to work on, therefore, the last aircraft the same. No, it doesn't. All right, let's jump over to the 7.4. I'm going to be able to show the exact same thing. Okay, so this plugin works on every module apart from the MD-11. So forget what I was saying about the MD-11, but that doesn't... Don't think, oh, I'll sod this video, I'm leaving. This works on every other module, for some reason not the MD-11. If you saw there, as I was moving the throttle, the MD-11 has that unique feature where it ghosts the throttles a little bit. It's useful because when the auto throttle's on and you're moving your real physical throttles, those sort of ghost throttles let you line up the throttles. I'm guessing it had something to do with that. You know, you saw that little orange hologram. All right, here we are then. Let me just move my track eye over so we don't get sick and release. Okay, so in this one... Let's have a quick look at the controls. So my left throttle here controls engine number 1. We're in a 747. It's got 4 engines. So the right throttle controls number 4. Okay, so if I move number 1, now you can see what's happening. So I'm just moving my left throttle here. Again, I'm unable to control 2 and 3. But you can see 2 and 3 is doing the average. So if I move just the right throttle, you see it does the same again. Now if I lift both engines up, can you see what's happening? And so if you were flying this, that might be quite a useful, easy way to control all 4 engines, even though you've only got 2 throttles. Now, your other option on here is to say, well, I want minimized on the middle. And what that's going to do, instead of averaging them out, it's going to do whichever throttle you've got the least. So if I move my left throttle again, only that engine moves. If I move my right throttle, only that one moves. But if I move them all, they all move together. And again, if I drop back one, whichever is the minimum, that's where the other 2 are going to go. And so if you're taxiing on the ground and you need to go around tight turns and you need that asymmetric thrust, especially when it's wet and icy or whatever, this is a really good way of doing it. And personally, I find that this is actually my favorite one that I like to roll with, the minimized on the middle. And again, if you move both your throttles up together, they all move up together because, you know, that's the way that this plugin works. Now, if you drop into a 737 or an A320 or something like that, where you've only got 2 engines and, of course, your throttle's got 2 throttle levers, this plugin, although it's running, is basically redundant. It doesn't do anything. So it automatically kicks in as and when it's required. And if I just switch into the Airbus A340, which is another one that has 4 engines. Where are we? Can't see it for the trees. There we go. By the way, even though X-Plane says it's playing in 2K, when I did a screenshot for the thumbnail, I actually found it was a 4K thumbnail. So I think... X-Plane's own settings is getting a little bit confused. I mean, you look how small that text is down at the bottom. I do think X-Plane is rendering in 4K, even though it claims it's doing itself in 2K. And that would explain a little bit why the frame rate drops a little bit. Because again, this game doesn't test a graphics card at all. I've got the 4090 RTX. It just doesn't. It's like 3 and 4%. It's all hanging off the... processor. There we go, a little bit of extra. Come on, load up your... I should have perhaps deleted the weather and picked a smaller airport. All right, let me just move my camera to about there. We'll zoom in a little bit. All right, engine 1, engine 4. So far I've not set this up. So again, we're coming in over here. You can see this one does nothing. This one does them all. And because I've got 4 engines. So I'm going to hook this up now in real time with you. So again, I'm waggling my left throttle just to remind me which side I need to do. That's going to be number 1. Waggling the right throttle. That's going to be number 4. There we go. 1 and 4. Boom. Now I move number 1, and you see it's actually moving engines 1 and 2 with it. If I move number 4, it's moving engines 3 and 4 with it. That is sometimes down to the toeless settings. Joystick. Let's have a little look. There was an option where toeless, you could use a dual throttle like this to do 4. Well, you can see it's working there. Let's just have a look. Can we use... That's actually already useful, 1 and 2. So the left throttle is controlling the left side, the right throttle. Are we able to make any more use of this? No, it looks like no. Toeless has got it. So if we disable this, yeah, it still works the same way. Okay, so you can see for the modules that don't allow for dual throttle, this plugin is absolutely essential. For the plugins that make some sort of workaround for a dual throttle, like here the A340, obviously this plugin is superfluous to requirements, and as we've seen, it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't perform any hindrance. The MD11, for whatever reason, it doesn't let you control the middle throttle. That's going to be the end of this video. And once more, for those of you interested in how to get it, it's the X Multi-Throttle. Just come into your Google page. Let's bring that in once again. And type in X-Plane plugin throttle. That's what you need to type in. It's the top result. Click on that. You can see, again, as we've said, built in the Stone Age. Don't let that put you off. It works completely fine. Download it, drop into your X-Plane /resources/plugins folder, and you need to drop the entire folder in. In fact, you know, for those that have never done that before, let's just click it. So we click download. Here it comes, and it brings into a file like this. There's your multi-throttle file. So I'm going to right-click, click copy on that. Come over to... Oh, sorry, I realized that you can't see this. One sec. Downloads. One sec. Let me just put my left screen on for you, and then you'll see it. Again, for those that are new to this. So here's the downloads page. So my downloads folder. So here's the multi-throttle thing. There's probably going to be something secret on here, but never mind. Right, so right-click on that. I, of course, just... open that up, and then this is the zip file we've just downloaded with the multi-throttle folder in. So you want to right-click on this, click copy, and then wherever you've got X-Plane, I have it on my C drive because I've got a bunch of drives. I've got another 2 gig solid state. I just don't had the time yet to install. C, X-Plane, resources, plugins, and here are all your plugins. You want to right-click in there, click paste. I, of course, aren't going to do it because I've already got it set up. And then next time you run X-Plane, you'll have it there in your plugin folder. I hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Happy new 2023 as well.